I'm so capable and able, I'm so capable and able, I'm so capable and able. My life ain't so stable, my life ain't so stable, my life ain't so stable. That is, I'm so capable and able. You know that my life ain't so stable, but
it is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
Blessed day. Welcome to Selassie Icona once more. I'm Mr. Cultier and I'm your host. First of all, I'd like to thank Jah for life, health and strength, wisdom, knowledge, faith, hope, love and understanding. All that He's doing and all that He have done, for He alone is God and He alone is worthy to be praised. Jah Rastafari. Now this program is about His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, Kings of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, earth rightful ruler. So it is, so it was, and so it shall be. Okay? Now people, I'd like to say it's a blessed day to be here, a blessed day to be able to speak to you, and a blessed day to learn with you and enlighten you on what I've been discovering about what better than nobody and nobody here is better than me. No, because we are all equal on that Jah side. And Selassie enforced the words of Christ, enforced the words of Jah, enforced the words of the Bible. Selassie is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He's the Prince of Peace. He's the keeper of the truth. He instilled the truth. He reinforced the truth. He enlightened us that what we consider to be the truth is the truth. You know, so I just try to the understanding of Emperor Haile Selassie. I try to get documented videos of people who spoke of him while he was here. You know, people who had more, I might say, intimate occurrences and meetings and sightings of His Imperial Majesty, who will be able to give a more fitting understanding of who he is. And so far, I've been putting up videos with people from all different races. You know, even though they might say directly he is King of Kings, some of them might say he probably is, or some of them might say they say he is. The thing is, they know he is. Alright? And we just here to cipher out, to make sure and confirm and edify who need to be edified of the truth. And I hear about teaching the truth and learning the truth as it comes. You know, and so far what we know is the truth is Selassie is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, earth rightful ruler. You know, we talk about Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and in segment will come we'll talk about the high priest himself, Holy Emmanuel I. You know, so I wouldn't speak of things I didn't have the ability to speak of. But I hope soon that I'll find people who will be able to enlighten me on these truths that I could manifest it. Alright? So let me go into the first segment here and let me see what's going on, man. Don't know.
To his idol, Bob Marley would one day sing, Haile Selassie is the chapel, power of the Trinity. He is the only King of Kings. A grand legacy will remain after Selassie's life, one that will declare him the heroic resistor of Italian colonialism, the benevolent protector of Africa and its diaspora, and a God incarnate. But these mythological representations found in popular culture maybe fail to account for his occasionally tyrannical reign over his empire. Welcome to another World War II in real-time biography special where I take a closer look at the major or interesting figures of the war. I'm Indy Nidell. Haile Selassie is born in 1892, son of General Ras Makonnen, de facto foreign minister of Ethiopia. Makonnen is a Europe-friendly member of the Ethiopian royal family, but also one of the military leaders that fight off the Italians in the First Italo-Ethiopian War from 1887 to 1889. Haile Selassie grows up in the village Ejersa Goro in the Harar province of Ethiopia, where his father serves as regional governor and regent. He is actually born Lij Tafari Makonnen, meaning a child of royal blood who is respected or feared. See, through his paternal grandmother, Selassie is the descendant of the Bible's Queen of Sheba, Makeda, and King Solomon of Israel, making him a pretty big deal indeed. When his father dies in 1906, Haile Selassie is made titular governor of Selale by his cousin, the Emperor Menelik II, to ensure that he can retain access to royal payments and complete his studies. In 1916, the designated successor of the now deceased Menelik, Lij Iyasu, is deposed for reputedly having toyed with converting to Islam, which is considered incompatible with the Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity of the nation. If Selassie has any role in toppling the emperor-to-be, who is, by the way, also Selassie's wife's uncle, remains unclear to this day. Menelik's daughter, and Iyasu's aunt, is crowned Empress Zewditu, but by his birthright, Selassie becomes the heir apparent and Inderase, or regent. He now goes by the name Ras Tafari, literally the Regent Tafari. Although he is not the ruler proper, at age 24, he is now, in effect, leading the nation, especially in foreign policy. His leadership secures Abyssinia, Ethiopia, as a charter member of the League of Nations in 1923, launching him onto the international stage. See, he has learned internationalist attitudes from his father, and his exotic but Western-friendly personality, well, it's pleasing to the Western powers. Selassie also actively promotes global cooperation despite cultural and political differences with the Western powers. He tours Europe, Egypt, and the Levant, visiting with European royalty and politicians to much acclaim in the Western press. One of the things he promises to gain a place on the global stage is to abolish slavery, still endemic in Ethiopia at the time. He will, however, not live up to this promise even when he ascends the imperial throne. Now, this cozy relationship with European colonial powers is a slack wire walk that he is not entirely comfortable with, or as he says himself, we need European progress only because we are surrounded by it. That is at once a benefit and a misfortune. In 1928, he faces a coup, specifically because of his relations with Europe, but it fails as the regional administration rallies behind him. The same year, the Empress then tries to have him tried for treason for signing a 20-year peace treaty with Italy. The whole thing fails miserably, though, and the Empress is instead forced to crown him Negus, king, elevating him almost to her own status. Finally, in 1930, she attempts to depose him by marching an army on Addis Ababa, but Selassie defeats her and ascends to the imperial throne as the 225th Negusa Nagast, or Emperor of Ethiopia. His full title, actually, to really introduce the man, is His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, King of Kings, and elect of God. In October 1935, the 20-year peace treaty is cut short when Benito Mussolini's Italians invade Selassie's lands. Now, I covered the Italo-Abyssinian War in a Between Two Wars episode, so there's a link at the end to check that out if you missed it. But in 1936, the Italians' offensive proves successful. They take the Ethiopian capital on May the 5th. Selassie loses his nation and gives the League of Nations stern warnings of the risks of appeasing aggressive nations. He scolds the League's failed commitment to collective security, haunting them with the caution, "It is us today, will be you tomorrow." Selassie's pioneering stand against fascism affirms his significance on the global stage. Although this speech cements Selassie as a resilient leader, the guardian of his empire, and even Time magazine's Man of the Year, he does flee into exile. He lives in a grand Victorian house in Bath, England for most of the next 5 years. Soon enough, in his home country, World War II rages between British and Commonwealth troops and the Italians. The Allies are seriously outnumbered, but against the odds, in forceful counteroffensives, they defeat the Italians, ending their power in East Africa. In May 1941, Selassie triumphantly returns to Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill actually called Selassie, telling him, "It is with deep pleasure that the British nation and empire have learned of your imperial majesty's welcome home. Your majesty was the first of the lawful sovereigns to be driven from his throne and country by the fascist Nazi criminals, and you are the first to return in triumph." See, Selassie's anti-fascist stance makes him the ideal figure for the Allies' politicians to praise and celebrate, despite their own colonial conquests elsewhere. This convenient narrative for the Allies develops around Selassie, and he reflects their worldly abilities, their charitable concern for colonialism, and their aid to victims of fascism. Meanwhile, another myth is crystallizing around Selassie in Jamaica, as people there are learning about Selassie's heroism, his royal blood, his lineage from biblical figures, and his mighty campaigns against white colonial aggressors make him their perfect icon. To them, he is the messianic figure that Marcus Garvey had predicted decades ago. Selassie becomes the central figure of the Rastafarian movement, which takes Selassie's name when he was regent as its own. In his 1941 homecoming, he addresses his people with some powerful words to begin the healing of the nation. "Today is the day on which we defeated our enemy. Therefore, when we say, 'Let us rejoice with our hearts,' let not our rejoicing be in any other way but in the Spirit of Christ. Do not return evil for evil. Do not indulge in the atrocities which the enemy has been practicing in his usual way, even to the last." He secures his cult image of mystical power and spiritual benevolence.
The truth has to be told, and the truth is being told by many races and facets of people. You know, because there's only one God and one King and one destiny. And seek the kingdom of Jah, and then everything else will be added. You know. So Selassie Icona for this week said thank you very much. But before I go, I have a segment that I want you all to see with a performance I did on an online performance stage with Trevor G. And I put on 3-4 songs there, so no Mr. Culty in action. Even though there's no dances, I still get him to do my thing. Thanking God for that. So take it in, and in the same time, until next week, Jah guide, Jah protect, and Jah heal the heart. Yeah, man? Blessed.
Hey, somebody say whoa. Whoa. Somebody say yeah.
With Deborah Francis for the Cosmic Vision TV that you see broadcasting every week on YouTube. And he's a man working with the youths, working with the communities, bringing positive energy, love, and doing a lot of work. But tonight he's coming to sing. He's coming to perform live for you. And tonight we're going to welcome the man, Mr. Culty on the inside. Come in, my brother. Oh yes, welcome, man. Touch your mic, touch your mic. Yeah, Mr. Culty on the inside, folks. Take it away.
Yeah, niceness. Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah, you know. Thank you for life, health and strength, wisdom, knowledge and understanding. Thank you for being here. Thank you for Trevor G, you know. But I just here to show the vibes of positivity. I have the program Cosmic Visions with me and Deborah Francis, King Solomon, you know. Tune in every Sundays, you know, you will be amazed to see the things we can do. But Trevor G, let me get the people some here, you know. Come to talk long, you know. So the King song play keep rocking every night and day. Dance, imbecile, knowledgeless. That's what you call a zessa. I'm no stresser. Youth man, watch out, you step in. Watch how you step, watch how you step, youth man. Watch how you flexing. Watch how you flex, watch how you flex. Cause this and that, no one me tell you this and that. Don't check your come off and Mr. Cut your coffee chatted direct. But master got foot, but man start to step. You can't give life, my life they want take. They go like Johnny Ringo, see for Billy the kid. Cause him as I got a children, see you drop them rapid. Seek the Father cause the time is coming. Find some love, youth man, find some discipline. Me tell them, me say watch out, you step in. Watch how you step, watch how you step, youth man. Watch out, you flexing. Watch how you flex, watch how you flex. People move like dog, I'm moving like swine. When I judge I love them, should really try fine. Though you hold me rhyme, I do that in time. Say Jah heal the sick, me tell it Jah heal the blind. Jah take the water man and turn it into wine. Jah flood the earth, destroy all of mankind. Say the second time around, he'll burn the place fine. Nobody to go by, let me kill him soul and break my mind. Special request, yes, this girl, Lord, she know how we dress. Yes, 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 I'm fully impressed. Know me what this girl come be my empress. Special request, yeah this empress so divine, girl, I wish you were mine. The thing your heart grieve, I'm fully inclined. Want to take you around the world, girl, I don't mind. Even better pamper you till the end of time. No, you'll never be lonely, I won't make you blue. Make me heart refresh just like the morning dew. Empty when you tell them boys like that not real. No, that have no sense. The privilege you call yourself dance. The privilege to do dance things. And quite recently the privilege to say 666. With Jada's licks. 5-6 pick up sticks. Next track my selector. Will I play? Give thanks and praise for the Most High Jah, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Youth man, put up the gun. Make babies and have fun. So the king song play keep broke every night and day. Man like culture rich and reality, you know. You ever say? So when I hear the boom bang 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 bang, that is sound of a gun. And you get laid down and you say boom bang 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 bang, that is sound of a gun. Police kill another one and you say boom bang 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 bang. Me tell the pair gotta run now. Boom bang bang is sound of a gun. So you go tell him now star. Bullets are busting over, bullets are busting sour. In the Maloney area, bullets and strife. Now that is we life. They giving me guns just to take we brother life. They giving me drug to start the fuss and the fight. So me tell you think, black brothers stand up. Boom bang 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 bang, that is sound of a gun. Yeah, the man say, boom bang 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 bang, the sound of a gun. So we say cease, come make me send this request to police. Legalize the ganja, whoa. Come make me send this request to police. Just make the ganja at the break of dawning. Unto Jah I'm calling, yes, the birds them chirping. It's a beautiful morning, whoa. Have my herb tea and a split for sensi. And they found beside my queen, my baby. But to my surprise, who could it be? To Babylon boy, them approaching me. So I think that upon immediately I got my indica briefly off for some morning. Yellow star, just come Sunday. I'm so capable and able, I'm so capable and able, I'm so capable and able, I'm so capable and able. My life ain't so stable, my life ain't so stable.